How are you guys doing today? This is Josh from Get Equipped here, and today I'm going to rank the Muppet movies from best to worst. If you don't agree with my picks, please let me know in the comments, and we can discuss it further. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. The early 2000s was a really strange time for the Muppets. You see, they were kind of like in that awkward transitional period where they really didn't know where they were going. The 90s kind of died out, and thus the Muppets just weren't, cool anymore. So that's where a lot of the quality came from with a lot of the films that came out. One of those movies that suffered was Kermit Swamp Years. Kermit Swamp Years, straight to DVD. I don't think a whole lot of people really saw it, and if you did see it, it just wasn't. It didn't have the magic of the original film, so that's why I'm going to put it on the D tier. And so that's going to bring us into the next one, which is Muppets Wizard of Oz. Now, Muppets Wizard of Oz is this almost the same thing. It was more about just kind of like a cash in, like what can we do with Muppets? Put them in the Wizard of Oz. Who the fuck cares? You know, and with that, it just lacked any kind of substance. It was kind of dull. The moral of the story. The original one, Dorothy wanted to go home the entire time. In this one, Dorothy wanted to be a star. It just lacked the emptiness, and it seemed really shallow. We're gonna go ahead and put that on the D tier. Next up on the tier list is gonna be A Very Merry Muppets Christmas, and what can you say about this one? There have been better Christmas movies about the Muppets, and this one just didn't fall on any particular mark. There just wasn't enough going for it that really made me think, oh, this is a great Muppets movie, so I'm going to put that on the D as well. All right, so next up on the list, we have Muppets Treasure Island. And Muppets Treasure Island, it's better than the ones on the D tier, but it's not any better than anything above the C tier. So I'm going to put Muppets Treasure Island right here. It's not a bad little movie, but most of the times I forget there's even a Muppets Treasure Island. So that's all I got to say about that movie. Now, for me personally, I really like Muppets from Space. It's about Gonzo, and the Muppets get to go up in space, and space is so cool and everything. It's not like, put them on a boat and call it Treasure Island, or it's not put them in Wizard of Oz. It's just, it's something a little more original, but you can still kind of see it's in that awkward transitional period of the Muppets where they really don't know where they're going. But so, once you put a character in space, it's like, what else are they going to do? So for me, I think I would put it on a B tier, but that's probably the best I could say about it. Next up, we're going to find a place for Muppets Most Wanted. Now, that's the most recent Muppets movie that came out. Nothing's really come out since then. But and it's probably a good reason because they might need a break from the Muppets because this one is actually not as good as the Muppets movie that came before it. It's still decent. It's got some good songs. It's got some funny moments, but it's definitely deserving. Probably going to be more on the C tier because, I haven't seen it since it came out of theaters, so take that for granted. So speaking of the movie that came before The Muppets Most Wanted, we have the actual Muppets with Jason Segel and the new Muppet that came out. This was actually really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the A tier. It's actually that good to me. Very funny. It came at a really good time. The Muppets were just kind of like they were just gone for a while, and they took their break. That's probably what they're doing right now. They just need to take a break every once in a while. They come up with something good, and that's what we got. We got the Muppets that came out. I want to say 2009 or 10. It had to have been at least 10 years ago. And it's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the A tier. And for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say Muppets Take Manhattan. That one is probably the most earliest Muppets movie that I can remember watching when I was a kid. It still holds up today. It's very funny. It's got some good music and it's a good story of Miss Piggy and Kermit getting together and getting married. If I remember correctly, this one's the one that's got the Muppet Babies thing in it, and that birthed the idea of the Muppet Babies. I'm gonna have to say this one's an A tier, and it's actually before the 2010 Muppets movie. That's going to bring us to the Great Muppet Caper. That's one that's probably my least favorite of the more well-known Muppet movies. It's not bad, but it's not like, for me, it's not great. Put it on B tier, and I think that works out. I'm probably pissed a lot of people off by doing that. Let me know in the comments. So that's going to leave us with the very first Muppet movie that came out, and what can you say about that? Great story, phenomenal music. I'll get back there someday. Rainbow Connection, just phenomenal stuff, and they just really, that's probably the perfect Muppet movie is the very first one. And I know it's kind of a cop out to put that on the S tier, but quite honestly, that's what I feel. And it's an original story. I'll watch this any other day over Christmas Carol or Wizard of Oz. That's just how much I love it, man. It's a great movie. Best one. And then there was one, Muppets Christmas Carol. Now, this is probably the most popular Muppets movie. Everyone grew up with it. Everybody knows what the Muppets Christmas Carol is. Everyone's pretty much seen it by now. You probably have your own opinions for it. For me, personally, it's going to go on the A tier. It's a great Muppets movie. It's a great version of the Christmas Carol. But, like I said a few moments ago, the only reason I put on the A and not the S is because it's not original story. And so feel free to let me know if I ruined your life. So there you have it. My take on the tier list for all the Muppet movies. Again, let me know in the comments if I ruined your life or not. If you agree, if you disagree, that's what the beauty of the world is. I'm Josh with Get Equipped. Remember to like the video, subscribe, comment, and I hope to see you again.